Hey guys, welcome back to TLC Tuesdays. Today we're going to be talking about the kitchen. The kitchen is one of my personal favorite spaces. I feel like it has a big presence in the home. For me personally, I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I'm a mom of 4 boys that are getting bigger every day. I stay home, I homeschool, so we spend a lot of time in the kitchen either preparing or cooking or cleaning up after food. So it was a very important space in my head. So that's why I chose this one to be next. It's been very hard for me to choose which one I want to do next because every space in this house I love. Everyone has turned out really great. And just a big lift from what it was before. So I'm going to start where I left you, which is the foyer dining room, so you can see kind of how things flow through this house. So here's the foyer, walk to the dining room, and then once you get through this doorway, you go to your left, and there's the kitchen. So that gives you an idea of where we're heading and the flow of the house that I talked about. So here is, as soon as you round that corner, this is what we saw in the kitchen. It's a fine kitchen. There's nothing awful about it, nothing super outdated. We could have definitely done a lot more smaller changes to uplift it. I mean, you can keep the cabinets white and get, more designer handles, get granite countertops, change the appliances to black or stainless steel. My personal preference, I prefer stainless steel or black. I think most people do. And then, of course, update like the light fixtures and really, you could do the floors. I would definitely change the backsplash if you're going to change the countertops, because the backsplash was literally what the countertops were made out of. And then maybe like a new faucet, because this one's just really low. And I think in a kitchen, you need a good high faucet for washing dishes and having space and not feeling like you're having to squeeze your dishes in there to get them fully rinsed off. From personal experience, I always replace the faucet if it's not a good high faucet. So now we can get into what we did. So those are just basic things you could do to a space like this and not do the major things like we did, which one decision led into other decisions that had to be made and other reworkings. So just make sure you go into it with your eyes fully open on exactly what one decision is that going to cause other things you weren't anticipating. So you want to think it all through, because it can definitely grow very fast. So here's just another view of looking straight through that section. So some things to look for in the during and after photos that we did is these little shelves right here, which when I was looking at the kitchen, I was thinking the biggest thing that we've always hated is our trash cans sticking out in a walkway because there wasn't a good spot for it. And most people build them into their cabinets. I didn't want to lose any cabinet space to something like that. So I was thinking, we don't really need this tiny little section of counter space because I was going to be adding a lot elsewhere. And I really didn't see me using the shelves all that much because I don't really like a lot of my stuff exposed. So I didn't really know what the function of this would be anyway. So I was like, why don't, since we're replacing the countertops, just take this end section off and make that our trash can spot. So that's one decision we made that was pretty easy to do. So that's where like our trash can would be. And then that's just a far off view. So as you remember in my last video, I talked about the adorable, full of character fireplace that's in this tiny little space. That's the fireplace I'm going to want to sit in front of, which led to a whole bunch of other decisions. So that's the room right off the kitchen. And so we're actually going to be cutting this wall right here in half to open the kitchen up to the living room space. I didn't want to lose the wall all the way, and I could have taken the whole thing out and built an island. And I thought about that, but then it was going to be a lot more work, a lot more invasive, and we were keeping the original cabinets. We were just painting them and updating some things about them. So to me, it was saving money because you always want to make sure that you stay inside the area you live in. You don't want to overprice yourself because you put more money in it than you're going to be able to get it back out of it. So that was one thing where I wasn't like, it's not super dire for where the house was. So we just cut it in half to extend the island out to create an island, or not an island, but like a bar, to create more seating, as well as open it up and have good extra counter space. So as you can see that since we're cutting this wall here where the stove is in half, the microwave can no longer go there, nor can the cabinets above it be there. So I did give up cabinet space, which was worth it. There was plenty of cabinet space elsewhere. They didn't really provide all that much anyway. And having the open concept was more important. So we actually ended up taking all these upper cabinets out. since the microwave was there and we wanted to keep the stove where it was because we didn't want to run electrical and all those things to move the stove over to the other side underneath the microwave, we just moved the microwave to the other side of the kitchen, and I'll show you what we did there in a second. And the cabinets above it, we actually moved with it to the other side, and then took these cabinets out you see right here the side of, and this is where the microwave is going to be after that. So here we're just cutting the wall out, starting to make some progress. And that's now how open it looks now, where you can just fully see into everything. It totally changed everything. Getting ready for new countertops to come in. And as you can see, those are the cabinets that were above the microwave, above the stove. We just moved them over, took the original full length ones out. And then my brother, who helped me a lot, who helped us a lot on this project because he's been in construction almost his entire life, he just kind of built these this cubby to put the microwave here in this hole, and then he installed an outlet to plug it in. So it has worked really great. The reason I did that was because I didn't want to lose counter space to a microwave. Plus, I really just hate the look of microwaves on a counter. So having it up high off the counter was very important and very necessary. So this was the solution we came up with, and it worked out really great. And there's an example of the countertops that we chose. And there's a more of a finished look of where the microwave is going to go, and the cabinets fully back together. And then this was really cool. If you've never went shopping for countertops, it's really fun to go in here and to, you know, verify the one you chose at the store or whatever. And our boys went with us, and it was so cool seeing all the different huge sheets of granite. It was really fun. Okay, so now we're going to get into the afters, my favorite part. So as you can see, half wall is gone. Countertop is extended. We got a flat stove so that it doesn't, you know, interrupt view. And microwave is over there now, under there. And then these shelves are gone, and that countertop is now cut back so that our trash can go there. And we did open shelving. I think that if it's worth it to you and you like it, I like my dishes, so I like to display them. And I have done this in both houses that we renovated. I made sure I had an open shelving area to do this. And so since we were taking this wall out, I felt like it would be too heavy to have big, huge line of cabinets still where they were. And so that's why I decided just to take them all the way out, and that would be where the open shelving was, because it would be less obstructive to the view and the openness and the lightness of the feel of the space. So that's why we did that there. And then we chose subway tile backsplash because I feel like it's timeless. I feel like there would never really be an absolute need to change it because it's out of style. It has stood the test of time for so many years, so many decades. So I felt like it was a good thing to do that I think future people would not feel the need to come in and make huge changes like that. And so I love the way and how simple subway tile looks. If you're interested, the color of the cabinets is ethereal mood. We got all our paint from Sherwin-Williams. So ethereal mood is the cabinets. We got black knobs, and the wall color in the entire house is alabaster white. The entire house was that color. We painted the whole house the same color. It was easy. I wanted the whole house to feel, you know, even and neutral, like I talked about in the last video, to help with natural light and just the feel of the home. We also changed the light fixture to a recessed lighting, changed this one to this nice little black one. And then there is the faucet that I think is super important to have, like I said, a good faucet that raises up high and moves around to wash your dishes good. So as you can see, black was my accent color, I guess you can say, with the knobs, the faucet, the light fixtures, and things like that. Upgraded everything to stainless steel, and I think that's pretty much mainly all we did. There's the big slab of granite that we chose, and then here's the other view looking straight on again. So if you remember, looking straight on, that's what it looked like then. And this is what it looks like now. So as you can see, it just made it feel bigger, even though we didn't really rework any of where the original cabinets were. We literally just cut that wall off, extended the countertops out, and made open shelving, and it just totally changed the size and feel of the space, because again, it's also allowing natural light from all spaces to flow into the kitchen and flow from the kitchen into those other spaces. So it kind of just creates a constant light everywhere you go. And one more picture. And then there's the view looking into the living room, so you can see how much more open it is compared to this view. So that was the original, and that is it now. So just, you know, a few things that can really change the feel of an entire space. So again, my tips would be choose light colors. The only way I would say to use bold colors would be if you have the natural light to compensate for it. And if the space is big enough to where the thing you choose to use bold colors on, whether it's your cabinets or the wall or the tile, you want to make sure the space is the right size to also compensate for those dark, not oppressive. I guess it's oppressive if it's used in the wrong way, but dark colors tend to create a certain mood, and so you want the space to make sure that it fits those colors. So just keep those things in mind anytime that you're deciding to make changes to, you know, still bring out your style and your flair into your space, but make sure to do it where it's going to create the right atmosphere you need for that space. So kitchen needs to be creative, inspirational, relaxing, enjoyable, cheerful, because it's usually you're doing work. And so anyways, that is the kitchen. That's pretty much it for this space, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. If you haven't already, like this video, please subscribe to our channel, and keep going on this journey with us as we continue going on it ourselves. Thank you so much for being along the ride with us, and I will see you in the next video next week.